Good evening, San Carlos. So I did a full clean of the vehicle to kind of assess everything since I had daylight. I checked all the fluids and all the fluids look good. Fired up, no problem again. Brakes are still working good. The emergency brake cable's lubricated. That rear driver's door slider, I'm just going to replace it rather than try to rebuild all the rust on it and dents. Fuck that, it's a pain in the ass. Cleaned all the inside windows. The tint is not that good. I don't know why they did it. Now the front tint, I took it off a good chunk of the driver's side window where there's no cracks. So probably, just maybe, I'm going to get away with being able to not have to replace that window in order to redo the sticker because there's no cracks in the driver's view. They're all down low. And with removing the tint and then cleaning off all the glue, I actually have a clean windshield. I just took it for a rip at night. It was so darn sweet. I mean, I'll have no problem driving that now at night. So yeah, just need to legitimize the plate, get a few lens covers, one for the back there. Now when the license plate lights didn't appear to be working, and I don't have a test to see if it's the bulb or the circuit. I haven't found the fuse panel in this yet either. I'm going to Google that tonight, see if I can find it where they say it is. I did a general clean of the inside, but I also discovered like the main plate to hide the engine doesn't have any of its bolts to keep a seal, so maybe that's why I'm smelling exhaust coming into the vehicle. The seal is there, so once I buy 4 new screws, I can probably just tighten it, create the seal, just like I had to put the seal on the battery because the guy didn't bolt it down properly. So yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't know if there's just no power going to the rear hatch door at all, and I can test that pretty easily. But first I want to check the fuse. And then what happened was, unfortunately, this is a 2011, and in its heat, plastic components do have a bit of a shelf life. And the seal around the half circle, half ball dome for those rear lights for the license plate literally disintegrated into nothing. So I'm gonna, like the piece where you actually plug the bulb into. So I'm sure I'm gonna be able to buy those relatively cheap. I'll just replace both of them. Even if it doesn't work, at least I know it's not the socket itself ruined. I'll put 2 new bulbs in. Those also probably aren't going to be very expensive. So then if it's just a wiring issue, at least everything at that end is good. So, and I've now fixed all the locks so I can actually lock the vehicle up, which is nice. So yeah, that is the first full day of real repair outside of the day of brakes and tires, which only took so long because I'm using the least amount of tools possible, and I had all those strip nuts to deal with, and I had to go hunting for parts for strip nut removers. So one of the things I will tell you, gents, if you want to pack a few tools here, one of the things you'll definitely be able to cash out and sell to other shops here is extractor tools. They don't have them. Well, next time I come home from Canada, I'm gonna have 3 or 4 sets in my luggage. You know, they're like normally 8 or 10 piece sets from various sizes, from, you know, say 10 to 20 millimeters, and it gives you the ability that if you got one of those nuts that's ruined and stripped, you can hammer one of these puppies on and get rid of the old dead guy, still get them off. So very, very useful. I still have the one stud that's busted because the hub on the rear drum does not just come off. You have to take a bolt off that's big and rusted and has a pressure ring, a locking ring. So I'm going to wait till I actually go to a shop for that. So next thing is going to be, I'm going to get a little bit of fiberglass kit and some sandpaper, and I'm going to go over all the little spots, clean those up, the holes around the gas tank, and a filler, just so it looks a bit better. And I'll still splash it with some yellow so you know you can't tell where I did the work, kind of thing, and that will just help it look a little bit better. So yeah, I'm very impressed with today's efforts. I got a lot done, and it cost me next to nothing, just, you know, elbow grease. I didn't have to put out any parts. I used vinegar, since you can't find Windex here, or goof off, which is the normal anti-sticker slash, you know, tint glue remover I would use in Canada. So the vinegar did, of course, require a bit more effort, a little more elbow grease, and I was using, there's no hose here for me. I mean, there's an outside hose spigot, but I haven't bought a hose. So I was literally filling my biggest pot up with water and using it as a splash thrower. So, but no, like I said, everything got done that I wanted to get done. I can now clearly see all the lights work except for the ones above the rear license plate. Oh, and the front fog lights, but you know, I don't know. I'll deal with them later. That whole bumper has to come off to change those rear lenses. So when I do that, I'll take it off and I'll touch it up as well. With paint, make it look nicer. But yeah, I'm pretty happy about it. You know, I'm lethal and mobile. So, like I said, I did show an earlier video today about how to get access to that windshield wiper control arm and stuff. And the next one will be, of course, I think, based on the few videos I was able to find where they weren't for this vehicle, they were for clones of this vehicle. But the windshield wiper fluid and the pumping container was under a seat. So I'm going to look for that tomorrow as tomorrow's chore. So of course, like, follow, subscribe if you own a Suzuki multi-cab 4-wheel drive, and you'll be able to see exactly how I go about fixing each subsystem as required. And then obviously there must be a separate reservoir for the rear wiper cleaner. I can't imagine they run one hose all the way through, but maybe they do. I guess we'll find out tomorrow. So once again, stay tuned, like, follow, subscribe, hit that bell for new videos. I will be labeling van videos van in the title, so you don't, if you're not interested in watching about the show, or you're not interested in watching about the bar, or you're not interested in watching about any of the other ongoing sagas in the captain's existence, you're just focused on the van, then you'll know. And if you don't care about the van because you're not mechanically inclined and you're following for other drama, you can skip those videos. But realistically, if you're a fan, be a super fan. Follow all the videos, watch all the videos, like and subscribe. Thank you so much, and of course, sharing is caring, just not your personal info, or as GCast sent me a message today, you know, your OTPs. Who does that? Who shares their OTPs? But I guess there's enough people falling into scams for that. So they sent a message saying, you know, sharing is caring except for win. So yeah, I found that funny. So yep, have a great night all. Oh, by the way, I've had 0 customers today on Saturday for the bar. That's why I was able to get so much work done. I was kind of hoping I was going to have to stop. And I was just doing cleaning work, so I stayed clean in case I had to go cook food. However, I haven't yet. So I'm going to make some burgers for me and the missus because there's no point wasting the meat. And yeah, so I might make a video on that. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Have a great day, everyone. Or night now for us. Ciao.